I don't think the Pixel 9 Pro Fold is that much better of a device than the year-old OnePlus Open, and to be honest, I still think the Open trumps it in certain ways.
Welcome back. We're really happy to have you.
Yeah.
And
Still Daniel, still Will,
still
here.
us.
Just us.
Pretend that we went off and used the bathroom and got some water. But
Yeah.
what we're going to do now is just go over our favorite non-tech stuff of 2024. So
Yeah.
in a previous episode, if you've heard that, we talked about the top tech news stories of the year as told by the top tech news products of the year, which are stealing all of our jobs, Gemini and ChatGPT. And we talked about our favorite products of the year, our biggest disappointments of the year. Now we're going to talk about media. So I just want to say up front, I barely watched anything this year, so my list will be shorter than Will's. And I spent all year reading. Follow me on Goodreads at Journey Dan. And actually, I don't think I'm at Journey Dan on Goodreads. Anyway, find me on Goodreads because I'm there. It's the most important social network remaining. And actually, I hate Goodreads. I'll just say
I
that
was
up
gonna
front.
say,
Goodreads
yeah,
sucks, but it's also
not...
extremely fun.
Yeah.
I wish other book-focused social networks would grow.
Yeah.
There's one called Fable, which is pretty good. But anyway, we'll talk about it later. I hit my goal and then some, and I'm very proud.
I have also been terrible about watching movies this year, to be perfectly honest with you. I have a list. I have stuff I've liked. But yeah, I feel like I need to use the Christmas break catching up on stuff that I may have. It was also kind of a weird year for movies because because of the strike. I feel like a lot of like smaller stuff got pushed further back. So like there's a bunch of stuff coming out now that I'm excited about. Like Maddie and I have plans to see both Nosferatu and A Complete Unknown over the holidays. So hopefully those
Have you
are
seen The Brutalist with
I
an
have not. I
intermission?
don't even know if The Brutalist is out near me yet.
I don't think it's out anywhere yet.
Okay. I have no idea when it comes out, to be honest with
Actually,
you.
it's out today. It's out today.
It's out,
I think it's in
in
limited
New York,
release.
and Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing the
Anyway.
Oscar shuffle where they want to make it available in this calendar year, but it won't be released widely until next year.
Yeah, there we go.
Will, you are famously into the moving picture.
True.
Maybe we can start with that. What are your favorite films of 2024?
This is a tricky one because I didn't get to the movies as much as I wanted to this year, and I am going to try to make some progress on my backlog during the holidays. So this could absolutely change. But if I'm thinking about the movies that like left a big impact on me, I'm thinking Challengers, which is probably my favorite movie of the year. At least right now, there is still plenty of time for that to change.
Not really.
Sure, there is. Oh, all the awards pictures are coming out now. You know, Nosferatu could blow me away in a week. We'll see. Trap, M. Night Shyamalan's Trap, has stayed with me like very few movies have. Like if
that one blows my mind that you liked that film as much as you did.
I think that it's kind of it's a trapster piece, if you'll allow me.
Oh my god. Wow. That was so bad. It was good.
Thank you. That's what I'm aiming for. I think Trap is a really fun movie. I've seen it twice. I saw it in theaters and then I saw it at home, and I had a blast watching it both times. I think it is accomplishing exactly what it sets out to do. If you are on that movie's wavelength, then you will have a great time, and if you are not, then you might walk out being like, "That was too silly," which is totally fair. But I think it's a wonderful picture. And again, I want to be clear that I'm maybe not shouting out the best movies of the year. I think Enora was a better movie than Trap. I think Furiosa was a better movie than Trap. But like when I'm thinking of stuff that stuck with me, Trap is really high on the list. As is Madam Web. Madam Web I saw in theaters in February, and it has not left my mind in the last 10 months. I have been thinking a lot about it. It's a terrible movie, but it is, as someone who has seen obviously all of the big famous so bad it's good movies, and then a lot of the not famous so good it's or so bad it's good movies, you know, I feel like I have good judgment on whether it's something that like has a short shelf life, right? Like I would say like what was oh my god, what was the Jared Leto vampire Sony Spider-Man movie? What was it called?
Mobius?
Morbius, right? Which I would say
Morbius.
is like entertaining in bits and chunks, but as a whole is mostly boring.
Yeah.
That is not Madam Web. Madam Web is absolutely like a new addition to the like so bad it's good canon. It never stops making the wrong decisions or the weirdest decisions, and genuinely Dakota Johnson's performance in it is one of my favorite of the year. It's she I don't know what she's doing in it. I'm not sure or like you know what she probably does, but she's phoning it in a way where she's almost breaking the fourth wall
I'm
more
so
than
offended that we're
like
talking
Deadpool.
about
Oh my god.
Madam Web on the show.
It's so good. You've seen it, right?
No, God, no.
Oh, Daniel. Daniel.
Absolutely not. I'm not
You
going
got
to
to fix
waste my
that.
time.
So much for not needing a babysitter. Do you guys think of anybody but yourselves? You're so impulsive and entitled, and you don't listen.
We didn't mean to.
Whatever, don't even say anything. God.
And that garbage.
It's one of the most entertaining movies of the year. I'm sorry, it just is. All right, I have two more movies to shout out. You're gonna get mad at me for both of these two. Again, I am thinking of memorable movie going experiences rather than
All
just
right, just come
what was
on.
the
Let's
best.
go. Get it over
Twisters
with.
and 40x. Twisters and 40x.
Yeah. Okay.
One
That
of
one
the
I agree with. I
thank
liked
you.
that film.
Yeah, in general, already a good movie, I would say. In entertaining blockbuster, Glenn Powell has the juice. I've been saying this since Everybody Wants Some in 2016, which remains one of my favorite performances of his. But you add 40x onto it. I really thought like when we went and saw it, like I had already seen the movie. Maddie had not. We saw when they put it back in 40x for like a week at the end of August, and I was like, hey, like if you feel like you're getting sick or if you feel like this is too much for you, like when we get out of the like 10-minute intro to that movie, like I feel like you'll have a good idea of whether you can do it or not. Like just tap me on the shoulder if you need to leave. Like I've already seen it, we can go. And like that 10-minute intro ends and I look over and she's just like losing her mind laughing. Like it was such a blast to like they should re-release Twisters and 40x annually. Like it will sell out every time. It's a great film. And then finally, this is cheating because this movie's 10 years old. I saw Interstellar in IMAX in its IMAX re-release a couple weeks ago. I didn't get to see it in 70 millimeter. They were supposed to show it in a theater near you, Daniel, and I thought about driving to it, and then they pulled it for some reason. I'm not sure why, but yeah, I had not seen Interstellar in theaters before. I had seen it on Blu-ray, and it was a movie I liked quite a bit. And seeing it in IMAX, I was like, "Oh, is this just like one of my favorite movies?" Like it was extremely powerful seeing it at such a large scale. I think that film is incredible, and it's I think it's Nolan's best. Sorry to Oppenheimer, but I love that movie. So even though it's not a new release, I feel like I saw it with fresh eyes. And so that is the fifth and final movie I'm going to shout out right now.
Okay. So I will agree with you on a couple of things.
Sure.
Challengers was my favorite film of the year. I liked
Yeah.
it a lot.
Great movie, great score.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Just overall amazing film. This has some recency bias to it because I literally saw it last week. But The
Mhm.
Outrun with Saoirse Ronan
Yes.
is
That's
incredible.
Saoirse, of course.
Sorry.
Saoirse, we all know
Saoirse,
this.
my bad. Incredible film. Beautiful. Just
Yes.
beautiful. Stark and difficult and just beautiful. Lovely performance. I really enjoyed it. I have not seen Furiosa, but I saw Dune 2. I thought it
Oh, of
was
course. How could I forget Dune?
awesome.
Great movie. Yeah, great movie.
Really good. And I, even though Hitman was not a 2024 movie, I saw it in 2024 and I liked it.
It counts. It was only in festivals last year. It got a release this year. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hitman is great.
Hitman was fine. Like it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but it was so
I suppose that's fair. Yeah,
like it was.
I had a great time with it.
Yeah, me too. It was better than it could have been, and therefore I gave it a big pass.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
That
liked.
to me that would have it just would have killed with a crowd. I truly think that movie, like you walk out of that movie feeling higher on it if you could see it in a theater with a crowd. And
Agreed.
you couldn't. You had to watch it at home on your couch because that's the Netflix way.
Like an animal, like a well hydrated animal.
Exactly. Oh,
could take
are
pee
you
breaks.
well hydrated at home? Because I am not. I forget to
Oh,
drink
I
water
am.
all the time.
I always
Good.
have at least 2 drinks when I'm watching a movie. I have like a soda water, maybe something hot, just to shake it up a little
Yeah, God, how did I forget about Dune 2? That movie rules.
bit.
It's
Yeah,
great.
it's awesome.
No, I have a bunch of like I know you said, but like I have a bunch of stuff. I really think that like Juror number 2, which did not come near me in
Mhm.
theaters, could be one of my favorites of the year once I see it. It has all the hallmarks of something I love. It's a court movie. It's got like a weird performance from what I understand from Nicholas Holt. I love Nicholas Holt. And Clint Eastwood has made some movies that I enjoy very much. He's made some bad movies, not here to say otherwise, but yeah, there's lots of stuff by him that I've liked. So
Yeah.
I do have to get to that. And then yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Nosferatu, A Complete Unknown. There's a boxing movie out called The Fire Inside that I want to see really bad. So I have other stuff that I think could end up on the list pretty easily. But I feel good about the five I mentioned. I feel like those might not be the best, but they are all
If
worth
you end up
watching.
watching a bunch of them over the break, we'll talk about it during the CES podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we'll need something to break up the AI
Yeah,
conversation.
that's right.
So yeah.
Which
Oh,
films
Conclave.
had
I also
AI,
want to see
used AI
Conclave.
in the VFX?
Yeah. So, do you want to talk about? I spent forever talking about movies. I have nothing to add to this conversation. I have read very little this year, but I would love to cede the floor to you and have you
Well,
talk
let's
about
let's
books a
talk
little bit.
TV shows first.
I shouted this out when James was on. That I do want to shout out English teacher with the
Hmm.
caveat that I am aware that Brian Jordan Alvarez has been in the news this week, and I will leave it at that, regardless of the report from I think it was a Vulture report or I don't know, it was one of the trades. Regardless of that, English teacher still a very good show that I enjoyed quite a bit. I wish it wasn't a modern television program. It had more than 8 episodes, but that's the world we live in. I want to shout out Lost, mostly to annoy Daniel, and
Fair.
yeah, I don't know. I've been rewatching Gilmore Girls. That's all I've been doing. So a shout
Yeah,
out to
that's a great way to spend your winter break. My wife and I
time.
have
It's the
also
time of the
considered
year,
it.
Yeah,
Nothing like a Stars Hollow revisit to really get you excited for Christmas.
honest to God, it's the right time of the year for it.
That's true.
But yeah, anything else you want to shout out?
I watched Dark Matter on. I
Okay,
think I talked about this on the show a
yeah,
few weeks ago, but it was really fun. It paid off well. I liked it. I suggest. I'm watching the new season of Silo on Apple TV as well, and I'm into it. It's a good show, and finally Severance is coming back in January. So basically, I'm just shouting out Apple TV Plus because it's the only network that consistently puts out really good quality shit.
that's fair. I should re-sign up. I haven't watched anything there in a while.
I can't share my password with you. That's one of Apple's really effective silos is that it's tied to your Apple account.
I was gonna say, yeah, if you threw that over to me, it's like, let me just browse through Daniel's
Yeah,
iMessage
exactly.
while
It's
I'm
not like I
here.
do
Yeah,
anything else on that account. But
yeah.
anyway, I'm not going to share my password with you. Okay. Yeah. So in terms of books, I would say my favorite book of the year was Martyr, which
Mhm.
I think I spoke about on the show,
Yeah,
but it's incredible. I highly recommend it. It's weird and beautiful and evocative and unexpected. It's just like it's surprising. It's not what you think it is, and yet it's exactly what you think it is.
yeah.
It's just great. I liked it a lot. I would say it's one of the best books of the year. I would also, on the nonfiction side, like to point out The Message by Ta-Nehisi Coates, which short book, you can get through it in a day, but really powerful, very, very highly recommended.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for something with AI actually as a focal point, I just finished a book called Playground by Richard Powers, which I'm not going to spoil by saying anything else, but AI plays a massive role in this book. And not in a way that you think. It's not like he used generative AI to write the book or anything like that, but
Yeah.
AI or an AI plays a role in the book, but in a very weird way. It's really well done. I liked it a lot.
Interesting.
That's it. I mean, I read a lot of books this year, and I could probably just like keep going, but those three really stuck out to me. So, what about music? What did you have on the music side?
Yeah, I feel like I've shouted out all three of these, and they're boring picks. They're not. I'm not gonna pull some niche artist out of my pocket and be like, "Damn, have you heard of this one?" No, it's the three that have stuck with me the most. Vampire Weekend's Only God Was Above Us, Charlie XCX's Brat, and Magdalena Bay's Imaginal Disc are my three picks
Wait,
for
what was the
music
last
this
one?
year. Magdalena Bay's Imaginal Disc.
Oh, okay, I haven't heard that one.
Oh, it's synth pop crossed with like the Flaming Lips, Daniel.
Mm,
It is up your alley. You would enjoy it. You should check it out before CES. We can talk about it there. But yeah, those are the big. I feel like my spring was like devoted to that Vampire Weekend album, and my summer was devoted to that Charlie XCX album, and then a couple other picks in the fall. But like those are my big three, I would say.
yeah, I don't have three albums. I
Yeah,
really don't have any because most of this year was my daughter discovering Taylor Swift
sure.
and
So the
Chapel
Tortured Poets
Roan.
department
So
is your number one.
yeah, I mean, no, that's not true because it was all old Taylor Swift. But we did discover Chapel Roan, who
Sure.
makes banger after banger. So I'd say like my top two artists of the year were accidentally Chapel Roan and Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I really liked Cindy Lee's Diamond Jubilee, as did
Yes.
everybody else, even though it's
Yes.
really hard to listen to because it's not on streaming, but it's a great album. And I will also shout out, and I'm going to get her name wrong, Nilüfer Yanya. She's a British Turkish
Mhm.
singer songwriter. My Method Actor is one of my favorite albums of the year. Really, really great.
I have not heard of this one, so I am
Plus,
pinning it.
Godspeed You Black Emperor came out with a new
Oh
album.
yeah.
That's
Yes.
incredible.
Yes.
That's it. I mean, I didn't listen to a lot of other stuff. Like I failed to listen to basically any hip hop at all this year, which I feel bad about. But that's just where I am in life at the moment. And yeah, I barely listen to anything else. So that's what happens when you spend a full year reading, because that's more or less what I did.
Yeah. My wonderful fiance just texted me from the other side of the wall over here to tell me that she heard my Tortured Poets department shade. So I just want to be clear, wasn't shade, no shade. I was just asking if that was
Wow.
Daniel's
Wow.
record of the year. But I can also understand that why your daughter might not be into the 2 hour super deep lore album for Taylor Swift yet. That one maybe comes to her when she's a little older.
Yeah, I think so. I think she's
Yeah.
more in the teenage Taylor phase at the moment.
Yeah, she wants the shake it offs. I don't know.
No, it's more like the Enchanted, like the
The enchant.
2008
Okay,
2012
sure.
era.
Sure. Okay.
You Belong to Me, that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
that makes sense. Yeah, there
The
we
more
go.
the more country. I think this was a year of country music.
That makes sense. It was a big year for country music, actually. Now that you say it, I feel like a lot of people have. There's a whole Beyonce country album this
Okay,
year.
last one, games. So
Yeah.
we'll end on games. What were your favorite things to play this year? Doesn't have to be on like console or anything, but like what did you enjoy playing this year?
Yeah,
Besides
I
Balatro, which I think is just a given.
yeah, it's literally was when I was putting together a list of media to talk about. It's not in any particular order. It is music and games and movies and shows like scattered. And Balatro was the first thing I wrote down. It's just kind of a gimme.
It's like an ambient addiction that everybody has accepted.
Yeah, you will see me playing Balatro at some point during CES, Daniel, because we'll have downtime, and that's what I will do. I will
Yeah,
pull up my phone and start playing
I'm excited.
Balatro. Otherwise, I'm still playing through Astrobot, but I think that game is as fantastic as people want it to be. I do wish the PlayStation branding was a little dialed down. I think collecting, little animated figurines of your favorite characters is fun. I am less into flying around in a dual sense. Like we could dial it back a little bit, but it is a very good platformer. Like it is Mario quality platforming. What else have I played this year? I didn't beat it, but I sunk a bunch of time into Persona 3 Reload. That game's great. Someday I will play Metaphor, which is the Persona team's new RPG. I
Metaphor
haven't bought it.
Refantasmo.
Refantasio.
Refantasia.
I have not bought it because I am fully aware that I have so many unplayed. I have only put like 2 hours into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and if I'm going to buy another 100-hour RPG. I should probably play one of the dozens of unbeaten ones that I have
Yeah,
before I buy a new
agreed.
one. Yeah, otherwise, I spent the summer, and you, I feel like you made fun of me for this 6 months ago, but I spent the summer playing Pokemon Go, and that was a great time.
As long as
Uh,
you enjoyed it, that's all that
I
matters.
had a fun time, and I'm on a hiatus from it right now, but when the weather gets better, I could see opening that app back up and having a year's worth of new content to dig into.
Yeah.
So, oh, also, I have not played this yet, but I bought as like an early Christmas gift. I bought Maddie the Animal Crossing Pocket Camp Complete version for $10, and she has been playing it like nonstop in the evenings, and I have seen her play it enough that I am considering
That's
picking it
great.
up as well.
Yeah, I love that. I love that for you. That's a great
Thank you.
game.
Thank you.
My top games of the year are Balatro,
Mm-hmm.
and I've also been playing Baldur's Gate 3
Yeah.
lately. But I would say my favorite game so far has been Cyberpunk 2077. It's so good. I'm like, this company did right by its user base
Yeah.
so hard, and I just want to shout out
CD Project Red.
CD Projekt Red. Like, this game was a fucking disaster 4 years
Yeah.
ago, and it is
Yeah.
so good now and so fun. And I just, yeah, it's like they crushed it.
Yeah.
I haven't played it yet, but I'm considering buying Paths of Exile 2.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, like, this idea of paying for an early access game that will eventually be free to play
Right.
is weird to me because they haven't said what they're going to give players that bought the game. You just got it early and paid for the privilege. I don't know why that offends me, but it does. So I'm still considering it, but I am a huge ARPG fan. I love Diablo style games, but I've resisted playing Diablo 4 because I'm like really not into the idea that I will eventually have to pay for
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Like, whether it's a seasons pass or an expansion or whatever other microtransactions Activision Blizzard comes up with, like, I just don't want to dig myself a hole that I can't get out of. So I'm
That's
not
fair.
going to.
Oh, I also want to shout out the latest Mario Party game is quite fun if you have a team of 4 people to play it.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
It's actually yeah, I don't know. I did not like Super Mario Party from 6 years ago probably, but I do think that they kind of, a lot of my issues with that game were taken care of with this one. So if you're
Mm,
looking for a party game before the Switch 2 inevitably arrives in a few months,
yeah,
and it'll play it. It'll play it on your
it
Switch
will.
2.
You're right.
So
It will.
you might as well. That we know. If there's one thing we for sure know about the Switch 2. It'll play the latest Mario Party. So
I'm very excited about
is
the
that it?
Switch too.
Is
That's
that
it. That's all.
Is there
That's the.
anything you're looking forward to in 2025 to wrap this up?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm kind of excited about the new. I still want to build a PC. So I'm kind of excited about the idea that the 5000 series GPUs will bring down the cost and maybe increase the availability of the 40
Yeah.
series, that I could finally buy a 4080 and not spend 1500 Canadian dollars on it.
Right.
You know what? No, not really. I mean, I'll be a Switch 2 buyer like day one, but
Same. Yeah.
I don't know if that is surprising or anything. I'm
Yeah.
I'm really excited about whatever OnePlus Foldable comes out next.
Yes. Same.
Like, the OnePlus Open 2, if the leaks can be believed, is going to be a banger, and I think it'll be worth considering. So, yeah.
I don't think the Pixel 9 Pro Fold is that much better of a device than the year-old OnePlus Open. And to be honest, I still think the Open trumps it in certain ways. Like if you were to break it down on like a pros and cons list, like there are things that are still better about the Open than the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, such as
Yeah,
multitasking.
I
So
100%
like
agree.
a new version that is catching up to the thinness of the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, while also probably being lighter, probably being more power efficient, having stuff like fast charging, like ultra fast charging. Like yeah, I the anti if they keep the anti glare finish for another year, like that is going to be a killer device. It is probably also the thing I am most excited for in terms of smartphones in 2025.
Yeah.
I want to shout out so when we went and saw Interstellar in IMAX a couple weeks ago, we saw a trailer that I had been purposefully avoiding. I really wanted to go into this movie as cold as possible, but considering that it was supposed to come out almost a year ago, I suppose it makes sense that I finally saw a trailer for it in front of something else. That's Mickey 17, the new
Mm,
Bong Joon-ho film, his follow-up to Parasite.
yeah.
I was avoiding trailers for it because I was already going to see it. I don't need to be sold on it. I don't think I saw a trailer for Parasite before I saw Parasite, and that was the best way to go about seeing that film. Having now seen the trailer, though, I'm even more excited. That thing looks like it was made for me. It is like the right, like, weird tone that I'm looking for in a movie. Robert Pattinson is in it a lot. There's multiple Robert Pattinsons, and he's doing a funny voice, and it doesn't take much to please me. That's pretty much the list of things that you need to make to please me. So I'm really excited for Mickey 17, and very weirdly excited for both. Actually, the Batman Part 2 is probably a 2026 movie, isn't it? But I'm. It is weird to be excited for Superman and Batman, just because it's been a long time since I've been excited for a superhero movie, and
Yeah.
I am excited for both of those. I don't know if you watched
I saw the
the
trailer
Superman
for
trailer.
Superman, and I'm cautiously optimistic.
I would describe myself. I think the trailer's good, and I like James Gunn as a director, and I'm hopeful that it lives up to the promise of that trailer.
Yeah. Well, my last shout out is to our inimitable and hardworking producer Jules Wang, who, whether he's in Boston or New York or at a
Just on a
subway,
train.
on a train
Yeah.
somewhere in the US, or if he's in Hong Kong or Japan or anywhere in Asia, or if he's just floating in the ether as a unlanded consciousness, he
Or getting
is
food with me because he just shows up in Buffalo sometimes.
he is one of the most hardworking and gracious people that we work with. So Jules, shout out to you.
Yeah.
Jules
Think
is
about how
what's making us
unlistenable
happy this
this
week.
this show is unlistenable without him.
Absolutely.
He
It's
is what makes
basically
makes it
unlistenable
good.
with him, but without him, it would be off. It would be completely a write off. So
Oh
thank you,
my
Jules,
god.
for everything you do. And
Definitely.
finally, thank you all for listening to this show this year. This is one of our favorite things to do every week, most weeks. And
Daniel's not just saying that. I can confirm he has told me that
I
privately.
love
And
it. It honestly it
yeah,
is. And I'm so grateful to everybody who listens every week. So I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season, a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a very, very um, safe and Happy New Year. And we will see you in 2025.
are we doing a show before CES?
No,
Are
we
we
are we are
okay?
certainly not.
We
This
are
will this
okay.
will
Then
this
we
will tide
will.
us over until the new year, at which time we will invade your feeds again with a live
Yes.
show from CES.
I will say I am recording. I have already set this up, so I am recording an episode of Miriam Dwar's podcast on January 2nd. So if you miss us that week, because that is the week there won't be an episode right before CES, go find Miriam's podcast, and I will be on it for that week whenever it releases, the 4th or 5th probably.
If you want a very, very hardware focused Will Sattelberg,
Yeah.
then go listen to Miriam's show. All right, that's it. That's the show. Thank you so much for listening. Have a lovely, wonderful holiday season. Happy 2025, and we'll see you all next year. Bye-bye.
Bye.